What's happening, y'all? What's going on? So I want to kind of cover a little bit about what happened, and I'm talking about in regards to the issue with the power outage. Well, not the power outage, but the cyber attack here in St. Paul. I just want to move. Okay. Nose started running and all this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna do it's gonna be a real quick one, real quick. So the mayor of St. Paul, he made a statement talking about the cybersecurity attack. Now they use certain words. Now I'm gonna cover this in detail this week, especially when my throat gets better, because I don't know, maybe the kids was sick or whatever the case may be, but they use the term coordinated attack. Now this was somebody that was very highly skilled. I want to make that clear. They were very skilled in what they did. Anytime they got to bring the National Guard in for cybersecurity support, that means the state itself cannot handle it. The FBI is involved. And I want y'all to think about the last post I made for emergency equipment and tactical things. Remember that movie I talked about, Leave the World Behind? I want y'all to watch that again. Try to pick some stuff up. What happens when the power grid goes down? And I want to ask y'all a question. When they just said that this cybersecurity attack happened, this cybersecurity attack occurred, what happened in the Twin Cities in the last couple of days? That's the question I want to ask you guys. I'm gonna let you do your own research. What happened? Because when you're looking at a cybersecurity attack, it ain't just data. You're not just looking at that. There's a lot of different things that could be involved. SCADA systems usually are not that secure. I talked about SCADA systems a little bit in my book. There's SCADA systems. There's HVAC systems. You know, you have water supply, you have locking dams, you got all these different things that you have to worry about in regards to technology. Okay? So when you're thinking about that, that's something to consider. That's absolutely something to consider, because you don't know what's going to happen when you start talking about power grids and things of that nature. Elderly people. So remember, Minneapolis had an issue before. Remember I talked about, I'm referring to the second book, I talked about the chapter in which Amazon did not want to, you know, Minnesota gave them a bid, but Amazon didn't want to come here. Now around that same time, I think they were having systems with their state. Now you have to understand, when a company is talking about going to another city to do business, they look at your infrastructure. They look at the news. They have people that they hire to say, hey, is this a sound investment? From the talent acquisition. Amazon said, well, due to the quality of life, we're not interested. They were also probably talking about the passive aggressiveness, because where did they end up going? New York and the South. They said the quality of life. They weren't just talking about the weather, y'all. They had to look at the socio-economic aspect. Would people want to come here to live? Would some of the best data center engineers and some of the best IT professionals in regards to putting a whole Amazon headquarters, would they want to live in the state of Minnesota with these backstabbing, passive aggressive bastards running around? Why would you want to come here and live in a place like that? We'd have to offer y'all another $50,000 to $100,000 to come. Why would the best and the brightest Why would the best and the brightest want to come to Minneapolis? You don't think Amazon did I forgot what they call it, like some kind of portfolio research? You didn't think they did their research? Genesis 10, big IT recruiting firm. They were looking forward to those bids, because what happens when you have a company of that size to bring their headquarters here? Do you know what the taxes and the money looks like? What does that look like for contracting? We're talking about a lot of different vendors, electricity, food. Then with the headquarters, they might build a new building. Maybe they'll lease it. Either way, there's a lot of codes, regulations. You might have a data center. There's HIPAA. We're talking about possibly billions of dollars being involved, especially if it's a building. If they put a brand new building and they say, you know what, let's put it downtown. This is Amazon headquarters. That brings everybody. I want to work at the Amazon headquarters in downtown Minneapolis, or Delwood, Minnesota, or wherever the hell. They wouldn't put it in Delwood, but I'm just saying. Let's just say they want to put it out in Roseville. They probably wouldn't do that either. But it'd be more of a centralized location. Let's say they want to put it in Plymouth or wherever they want to put it at. Let's just say that they wanted to put it there. They do all kinds of research reports. They do psychological research. They do electrical research. They do land research. They do tax research. They have people, hundreds of people, that spend hundreds of hours looking at, is this a risk that's worth it? And Amazon said it wasn't worth it. From number one, they didn't think we had enough talent. Number two, they said the quality of life. You coming from Atlanta, you coming from New York. Our DEI, we want to hire blacks. Do they want to sit up here and freeze? You get a highly talented sister that's one of the top cybersecurity engineers in the world. Does she want to come up here when she could get stay in Atlanta or DC? LA, yeah, the taxes are high. Why would she want to come up here? We're going to have to offer her a lot more. It's going to cost us more to come up to Minnesota rather than just going somewhere else. So they liken to go to the East Coast or the South. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it was Dallas. I can't remember where it was. We'll break it down this weekend. But when we do this recap, we're going to look into that too. But this cybersecurity attack, back to that, they looked at that because I knew about it. I knew about some of the systems that weren't weak because it was a news article. So outside companies are like, well, hell, do we want to put our headquarters in a place like this? Are we going to get the talent we can? So now they probably had to hire independent companies, third-party companies to help them with this cybersecurity attack. And because it's a government issue now, see, now we're looking at our government different. Like, can y'all keep us safe? We got to call the National Guard. The people that we have here can't handle it. That's what that means. When I have to call someone else, that means by definition, I can't handle it. It's beyond me. So they were talking about looking at the logs. They asked the mayor several times. He kept saying the same old thing. Like he really didn't know. He didn't even know who was leading the investigation. We have several people here, several people there. We got several. I believe. He kept saying, I believe. That nigga didn't know. He didn't know. He was kind of like, man, I'm trying to keep my job. I'm trying to sound real. He sounded very, very, very concerned, extremely concerned. So I'm gonna do a deep dive. The audio of the news of the conference at first was kind of janky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the audio and I'm gonna split the audio so you guys can see it or hear it. And then I'm probably gonna upload the video because we're gonna watch it. I don't want you guys just to hear it on one thing. So I'm gonna do a little bit of magic work to get it to where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? As far as the audio, I'm going to probably like export the audio and then pan it one way and another, something, so it sounds good, so it don't sound janky, so y'all have stereo sound. I don't want it to just be out of one ear. I want you to see and hear how he sounds. So when they start asking these questions, so, you know,